Hello, boys and girls. Today we're talking about the resurrection eggs. I know that during this time, during Easter time, that we always go over each and everything that happened to Jesus before he died on the cross for our sins. So today we are going to go over each egg. The first egg, the blue egg. When I open it up, it is the donkey. Do you remember what the donkey symbolizes? Remember how Jesus came in riding on the donkey on Palm Sunday? And they all praised him and they were all excited that they got to see him. And they reminded each other that he is the one true king, right? Let's see what happens next. The pink one. The pink one is the 30 cents. The 30 cents. Remember what happened with the 30 pieces of silver of Judas Iscariot? Remember, he was a disciple. There was 12 disciples, and Judas Iscariot sold out Jesus. They said that, oh, I know where Jesus is. I'm going to lead you to Jesus. And he sold Jesus for 30 pieces of silver. The light purple. This is when Jesus, remember whenever he went up to the upper room with all the disciples and he got the cup and he filled it full of wine and he said, this is my body and this is my blood. Remember they drank the blood. It's not real blood, but it's the wine, and it was a symbol of Jesus's blood that he gave when he died on the cross. And the bread he broke off and gave it to the disciples. Orange. Orange is praying hands. Remember whenever Jesus went to the Garden of Gethsemane and he was praying, he told the disciples to stay up and wait and watch and pray with him. And whenever Jesus came back, remember what happened? Both of the disciples, they were asleep. And Jesus woke them up and said, why are you sleeping? You can't even stay awake even an hour to pray with me? The next one is green. And the green is a whip. Remember that they whipped Jesus? They whipped him and they said that, oh, you're not the king of the Jews. And they whipped him and saying that he used leather ropes and rocks and metal woven pieces of leather, and they put pieces of glass on it and they hit Jesus with that. Made him bleed. And orange. It's the crown of thorns. They took they took some thorn bushes and they put it all together and they put it on Jesus' head and said, oh, you're the king of the Jews. Well, we should give you a crown. And they put it on his head and they pounded it on his head and the blood was coming down. Yellow. This is to symbolize the nails that Jesus endured on the cross. Remember, they put nails in his hands and on his feet, and they hung him up on the cross. Green. The Roman soldiers used dice to gamble for Jesus' garments, saying, oh, they must have those garments. And so they would roll the dice and see who would get the highest, and they would get the garment. Purple. The spear. The soldier's spear. When Jesus died, they poked him to see if he was still alive. and all the juices and the water and the blood would pour out from the soldiers' spears. And then after that, cream. After Jesus had died, they wrapped him in cloth. This is linen. They wrapped him in that linen and they put it all around him. They put spices and preservatives to preserve the body and keep it all clean. And then we have pink. The pink is the big rock that they put outside of Jesus's burial tomb. They rolled it. And it took 3 guards to roll the rock and put it into place, and so no one could move it. And then they put the guards outside to guard it so no one could get in it. Then the last one. The last one brings hope. This one brings celebration. Because this egg, there's nothing in it. Why is there nothing in it? Because Jesus didn't stay dead. It took 3 days, and on the 3rd day, Jesus rose again. He's not in the tomb. The tomb was empty because Jesus had risen from the dead. Can you imagine how excited they were when they go inside and there's nothing in it? Remember who were the disciples that ran to the tomb? We had John and Matthew and Mark. They all ran to it. And they didn't find anybody there. So I hope you can go over these with your family and remember that the reason we celebrate Easter is not because of the Easter Bunny. It's not because of the candy that we can go get. It's because that Jesus died on the cross for our sins. He rose again. That's the best part of Easter, is that Jesus is not buried and dead. He is truly alive. I hope you have a good Easter. Bye-bye.